Have you forgotten that you're living here rent-free thanks to your husband's generosity? My sister-in-law's words stung as she moved in, freshly divorced and demanding to see her room. I don't need your input, just show me where I'll be staying, she retorted, bristling with newfound independence under our roof. My husband inviting her here. What a reckless decision. This self-centered duo will pay for this, I seethed, plotting my retaliation. My name is Sophia. Since marrying Sam, an engineer who can work from home, we settled in a small town near my childhood home. Country life has its challenges, but the community is kind and the surroundings are peaceful. Sam, originally from the city, seemed to embrace rural living. The locals are so warm-hearted. It warms my soul to hear Sam say that. Sam travels to New York City's headquarters once a month, visiting his family and updating them on our lives. My parents own a large estate in town where my brother, his wife, and my parents reside. They're all wonderful, down-to-earth country folk who often lend a hand with food and support, I explained. Though Sam and I hadn't started our own family yet, watching my brother's bustling household made us eager to do so. However, it seemed parenthood would have to wait a bit longer for us. While Sam and I enjoyed a peaceful life together, one point of contention was our differing views on starting a family. I'm not quite ready, Sam would say, tempering my desire for children. But for me, the urge to become a mother grew stronger each day. We married later in life, and while Sam was content to wait, I felt the pressure of time as a woman. Sam, I really want us to start a family soon, I plead, only to hear his familiar response. Work is demanding right now, let's wait a little longer. When exactly is a bit more, I pressed Sam with a hint of frustration, but his response was evasive. I'll bring it up when the time is right, just leave it be, he retorted. His demeanor towards me grew distant, possibly due to work stress. Fine, was all I managed to utter. As time passed, our relationship suffered, and a year slipped by. Then one day, Sam abruptly announced, my sister is getting divorced. I recalled that she had been married for about 2 years and lived in New York City, but Sam's casual mention left me puzzled. That's why she's moving in with us, he explained matter-of-factly. Initially bewildered, I asked, wait, what do you mean? Sam clarified, my sister is getting divorced, so she's coming to stay with us. She'll be here next week. It became clear that decisions had been made without my input. You can't just decide things like this, I protested, but Sam remained firm. She's family, practically your family too. I expected you to understand. You're being colder than I thought. His words stung as he criticized me. Why are you so defensive? It's not right to decide things unilaterally, I argued, but Sam's expression hardened in response. In the early days of our marriage, Sam wasn't as arrogant. Perhaps the leisurely countryside life and adoration from locals had changed him. I noticed the shift subtly, but confronting him directly seemed daunting. Yeah, I never anticipated his growing self-centeredness. I can't live with your sister. Please ask her to reconsider, I asserted firmly before retreating to our room. Sam's response was abrupt and forceful. Don't you dare say you can't live with my sister. I won't hear it. He seized my arm, his voice raised. Truthfully, I never cared much for his sister Emily. She hailed from the city, embodying the stereotype of a condescending urbanite. Her husband's corporate status only seemed to bolster her arrogance. Well, Sophia dear, it's been a while. How's life in your quaint countryside? We seldom crossed paths, but when we did, her disdain for my rural life was always evident. Emily always made a point of boasting about her husband. My husband is a top executive at a major corporation. You two are lucky to lead such a laid-back life in the countryside, she remarked with a sarcastic tone. Refusing to be intimidated, I replied, yes, thanks to you, we're savoring every moment. Emily, always eager to outdo others, took offense. Well, it's easy to get by with less in the countryside. Living in the city like us, it's a different story, she snapped. I wanted to retort immediately but kept my composure. I suppose we've each learned something valuable, I remarked calmly. Yet the satisfaction of country living differs greatly from city life. Emily was momentarily speechless but quickly fired back. Enjoy your frugal existence then. Her demeanor left me bewildered. I had never encountered someone quite like her. If I had to live with her, it would be unbearable. I was determined to prevent it, but despite my efforts to persuade Sam, he remained stubborn. Just 2 days before Emily was set to move in, I received a call from her. Expecting her usual rudeness, I answered hesitantly, hello. Emily sounded irritated at my tone. What's with the attitude? It's rather rude, especially when I've taken the effort to call you. Emily was as irritable as I had anticipated. So, Sam told you I'm moving in, right? You better take good care of me. It shouldn't be hard for you, since you've been lounging around all this time. I'll be disappointed if you don't listen, she chided. Her relentless chatter and entitled attitude didn't sit well, considering she was about to rely on others. Emily, I heard about your divorce and your plan to stay here, I remarked with a touch of sarcasm, but Emily remained unfazed. Yeah, so what? People split up all the time, don't they? I got tired of city life, so I thought I'd try the countryside for a change. Any objections? She shot back, her tone aggressive. Well, I didn't give you permission to move into our house, I asserted firmly, but Emily chuckled on the other end of the line. Why would you have a say? This is Sam's house, isn't it? You do realize he's the one paying the bills, she retorted, revealing her misconception about the ownership of our home. On the agreed-upon day, Emily arrived at our doorstep as promised. Here I am, she declared with an air of entitlement, briskly unloading her luggage upon entering. Sophia, snap out of it and show me where I'll be staying. My sister-in-law exuded self-importance and arrogance. It baffled me how she managed to hold a job with such an attitude. To my frustration, Emily had higher academic credentials than me and had worked at a major corporation. Although she quit after marriage, she still received job offers from various companies, confident she could return to work anytime. I apologize for the inconvenience, I said calmly. Let me show you to your room, Sam interjected impatiently. All right, no need to rush. Your bags must be heavy. Feel free to head to the living room first, I added, gesturing for Sam and Emily to precede me. After suggesting tea, Emily appeared to accept my hospitality and followed me into the room. As I served them tea, I broached the main topic. Emily, I understand it's been a long journey, but you can't stay here, I began. What do you mean, Sophia? Emily dismissed my statement. This is Sam's house, isn't it? He's the one paying the rent. Have you forgotten? Sam quickly chimed in, echoing her sentiment. Exactly. You don't have a say in this. It's my house. Despite their confidence, I knew they were unaware of a crucial detail. Actually, I inherited this house from my parents, I revealed. Their expressions shifted instantly, but Emily was quick to rebut. Oh, Sophia, you don't have to fabricate stories just because you don't want me here, she countered, clearly skeptical. I'm not fabricating anything, I responded calmly. How can I believe that you inherited this house from your parents when I'm the one who's been paying rent? I won't let you get away with such lies, Sam exclaimed, packing up with disbelief. Emily joined in, pressing me as well, but I remained composed, anticipating their reaction. Could you both just listen for a moment? I interjected, trying to calm the escalating tension. Sam, you haven't been paying rent. What you've been giving me each month is simply for living expenses, I clarified, hoping he would understand. What? That can't be right, Sam replied, struggling to comprehend my words. The truth is, Sam, you haven't been paying rent because there isn't any. My parents gifted us this house and the land it sits on, I explained patiently, expecting shock and confusion. Sam began to panic. Wait, I've been giving you $1,000 a month. Why would it cost so much to live in this remote countryside? Just because we live in the countryside doesn't mean there aren't expenses, I countered gently. We've managed to get by on that amount because we don't have to pay rent. I sighed heavily, and Sam's frustration boiled over. You should have told me earlier. There's no reason for you to deny Emily a place to stay, he argued stubbornly. It's pointless. I have to show you the documents, I said firmly. Look at this. The owner of this house is me. Did you even bother to check whose name the house is under before assuming the money you gave me each month included rent? My assertive tone left Sam speechless. But how? The documents clearly showed my name as the owner. It's time to ask your sister to leave. Emily, however, fired back immediately. What are you talking about? I don't care if you inherited this house. I'm family too, you know. I've never met someone as heartless as you. I watched Emily rattle on with a cold gaze before speaking up. When have I ever considered you family, Emily? You've always belittled me, called me a hick, and accused me of being too dependent on Sam. You've never shown an ounce of gratitude for staying here. Did you really think I'd want someone like you in my house? I let out all my pent-up frustration at her. Emily finally seemed to grasp her place. Turning to Sam, I emphasized, Sam, You do understand that this house belongs to me, right? Sam's anger flared at this revelation. This isn't fair. You should have told us this before Emily moved in. Why are you bringing this up now? You both make decisions without consulting me, so I did the same. Any issues with that? Dealing with this self-centered sibling duo required hitting them with reality. Emily appeared particularly flustered by my revelations. Sam, what are we going to do? I'll be left homeless at this rate, I exclaimed in frustration. It seems Emily hasn't left her previous residence in New York since the divorce, Sam admitted reluctantly. Why don't you go to your parents' place? I suggested, hoping for a simple solution, but it turned out they had their own reasons. My parents are moving into a retirement home, and they've sold their family home, Sam explained. Emily wanted to move in with me, but I can't allow that. That's not my problem. If you want Emily to stay, you should leave, I insisted firmly. This is my house. Sam looked down helplessly as Emily continued to berate him. If I get kicked out, it's your fault for not sorting things out, she yelled angrily. I'll have nowhere to go, so just shut up. Sam finally snapped back at Emily, and they began arguing fiercely. Dealing with them was proving to be quite a headache. Could you both lower your voices? You're disturbing the neighbors, I urged firmly, signaling for them to leave. Sam hesitated, pleading, Sophia, I understand. I'll ask Emily to leave. Just let me stay. What? Hold on, Sam. What are you saying? Emily protested, caught off guard. Ignoring her protests, Sam firmly escorted her out. Now on his knees, Sam pleaded with me, but I looked down at him with resolve. Do you think begging will make me forgive you? I'm sorry, but I have no intention of forgiving you. My frustration with Sam went beyond Emily's presence. You've never truly been present for me, have you? I confronted him. Sam avoided my gaze. You're always busy with work. You never make time for us to talk. I can't continue this marriage. With that, I handed Sam the signed divorce papers. Please, just give me time to reconsider, Sam pleaded desperately, unwilling to lose his life with me. But I was resolute. Just leave, I said coldly. You've got to be kidding me. Just because this is your house doesn't give you the right to do whatever you want, Sam retorted, frustrated. I couldn't bear to hear Sam defend Emily staying without my consent. Please don't act like you're any better, I retorted sharply before leaving him with those words and returning to my room, leaving the divorce papers on the table. After that, Sam and I proceeded with our divorce. According to a mutual acquaintance, Sam and Emily returned to New York, facing difficulties. Well, it seems karma is catching up with them for their self-centeredness. I hope they learn from their hardships, I reflected. Meanwhile, I'm enjoying a fulfilling